Well, Nigerians are also reacting on the social media space, and so we'll take you to Kakaaki socials now, where, of course, Rena Obozeghie will be telling us what is trending today. Good morning.
And you're smiling. I think you're a different citizen from other citizens. And I like the smile. Just keep it up.
It's God's grace.
Oh, please keep it up. Keep it up. It should be infectious.
All right. Do we have something to share about on your space today?
Well, maybe not exactly. I was just concerned yesterday while I was putting the stories together, and I was telling my friend, like, same road today again. It's not really beautiful. So maybe tomorrow.
So let's yield the floor to you now.
All right. Thank you so much. Catch you later.
All right.
Hello there. Good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Rena Obozeghie. Now, the federal government is blaming politicians who did not win in the last election for working against Nigeria's interests. Speaking on Tuesday in Abuja during the inaugural Public Wealth Management Conference, the Vice President Kashim Shettima says such people who have remained in what he called political mood, plunging the country into a state of anarchy, will be resisted.
Work. We have to move beyond politics. We are now in the phase of governance. Sadly, some of our countrymen are still in the political mode. They are the practitioners of violence, advocating that they are Nigeria, our own country, our one and only Nigeria, should go the Venezuela way. Some are agitating that we should go the Lebanon way. But Nigeria is greater than any one of us here. Nigeria will weather the storm. We know the consequences of unveiling the masquerade. Forces are hell-bent on plunging this country into a state of anarchy. Those that could not get into power through the ballot box. Instead for them to wait till 2027, they are so desperate. If this country can fall apart as far as they are concerned, so be it.
All right, let's have some thought on this development. First is this brother who says his brother Privilege Esquire. He says, this one, when no fits, watch penalty. Naimo weather storm, official Kashim Shettima, please, oh, please. That's referring to AFCON this month, actually. Didi Dunn says, Shettima, is this really all you have to say? Instead of acknowledging the hardship facing the country, you are here attacking the opposition like they are the cause of you and Tinubu's failure. Shettima can't even combat terrorists in his own state. Also in reaction, David says, blaming the 2023 elections losing politicians for current economic issues implies a lack of proactive planning by those in governance. True leadership requires anticipating challenges and crafting solutions ahead of time, focusing on national welfare beyond political disputes. Both thought to be from Apim, who says, Akpabio said they didn't know the economy was this bad. Shettima is blaming the opposition for food crisis. Sheyi is saying we should be patient with that. Wike is talking about winning in 2027, and the dollar just hit 1,825 naira from 780 naira 8 months ago. Revolution loading. We're talking about Akpabio, and in a story that's not so far from what we just had, Nigeria's Senate President Godswill Akpabio says protests in parts of Nigeria on hardship is sponsored. He says it's unfortunate that protesting members of the public are not aware of government effort in arresting the dwindling economy. Akpabio urged sub-national government to utilize the 30 billion naira they each recently received for food intervention.
Protests here and there, but those people are not aware. Most of those sponsored protests are not aware of the kind of efforts being made by the Senate to tackle the situation, together with the joint management team of the federal government of Nigeria. And I must say that unverified report has it that each of the state governments in the last few months have received additional 30 billion from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, outside their normal allocations, from the Federation account, outside their normal allocations, to assist them in ameliorating the food situation. So we believe that every state government should utilize the funds so received towards ensuring that food is available.
All right, we hope that the governors will take heed to that if really they got that money. But let's see your thoughts on X reacting to AIT, who posted this video yesterday. Hakima says, sponsored, that's your response to the protest. Typical Nigerian government official response. It's never their responsibility, always deflecting, never actually accountable. And also Bishop Adamu says, what's happening in Nigeria today? Sponsored protests, sponsored Naira depreciation, sponsored high food costs, sponsored hunger, sponsored fuel subsidy removal, sponsored power outage, sponsored strike, sponsored hardship, sponsored insecurity, sponsored nepotism. And then the list went up, but we'll leave it at that. For Michael, he says, of course, they are sponsored. He knows this, and we all know this too. The question now is, who sponsored them? Who is used to sponsoring fake counter-protests, fake bishops, and so on? Maybe he can tell us if he has credible intelligence, unless he's engaging in bare parlor talks. And also, Edward Lee, he says, giving funds to state government to not only lead to hyperinflation, this is not the way to go. These funds will only be used to chase dollars. These guys hoarded COVID palliatives, and you think they care for the masses? And he says, no. And finally, on this is Dr. Saint Dikachi, who says governors need to sit up, and the federal government needs to put in monitoring team and searchlight on governors. They are 50% of Nigeria's problem, all right? 36 of them, he says, they are 50% of Nigeria's problem. That's quite a lot. Well, whether in a stark display of hunger and social unrest, some persons on Tuesday ambushed some trucks loaded with foodstuff. Well, I'm told it's in Katsina State, but don't take it from me because I'm unable to verify that just yet. Well, in the video, children, women, and men were all seen involved in looting that looks like a debate of the highest loot.
Kun ga yadda ake ta kwasan kayan na ake ta kokowa. Kun ga yadda abun yake ta tafiya ko? Maza da mata kowa ɗiba yake san ran shi ana guje-guje. Haka dai abun da ya samu kawai shi kenan, al'amarin nan sai dai mai fatan alkhairi kawai. Allah dai rufa mana asiri. A yi nan kaya abin da aka samu da gari. Ina ɗauka.
All right, let's move away from that to say that the Nigeria Customs Service, NCS, says because of the critical challenges of food security and the soaring cost of essential food items in the country, it will distribute food items it sees from importers and smugglers to the poor and needy. Well, the National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Mewada, disclosed this in a statement released on Tuesday, and he's pledging fairness after the food is certified okay for consumption by relevant agencies. Also, what he's saying is that to alleviate the hardships faced by Nigerians and improve access to essential food items, the Nigeria Customs Service will facilitate the direct disposal of food items forfeited to the federal government. He says these items would be certified fit for consumption by relevant agencies and made available to ordinary Nigerians nationwide through equitable distribution in our areas of operations. And he also says, we pledge that this exercise would be managed diligently to ensure that the benefit reach those most in need. Let's see consigns to this. Kayode says, interesting, whatever, let food be made available for the larger public. But then Mazi says, this is people's hard work. Some of them took loans to import these items. These aren't hard drugs or illegal weapons. This is rice, for God's sake. And also, Efi says, distributing someone's sweat. That is why we don't progress. Making obnoxious laws to punish SMEs. Food import and export should not be restricted globally. We should produce more for export, and businesses can do import if they have buyers. Free enterprise helps the poor. Also in reaction to this is B. Bliss, who says, after all these claims, 95% of Nigerians won't even receive anything. It will be shared among their families and friends. Well, they did not say it was going to go around. They only said that the needy would definitely get something, and they've pledged that they would do it diligently and fairly. So that's how we call it a day today on Kakaaki Social. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'll catch you again tomorrow.
So, well, what's the Senate president saying? That's what's happening.
He said he's sponsored, but he didn't mention
Our
names.
illusions or Nigerians, or perhaps they don't yet get the picture. But I don't know, whatever it is, we just know that things are not the way it used to be. I don't know if they agree with that, and I think that's the question that they should be asked. If they think that things are the way it's supposed to be.
I think they do agree, because just on Sunday in Rivers State, he was blaming Emefiele for the hardship, but today he's saying that it is sponsored without a name, though.
I kind of like that comment from one of netizens who said that it's interesting to find out, or it's important to find out who is doing the sponsoring and why, you know, so, because if there is no reality, you can't practically tell people to come on the road.
Absolutely.
If they are busy really making their money on a daily basis, I don't think anybody would come on the road and start protesting.
True.
But the important thing is for government to take steps, like our guests have been saying here, to correct whatever seemed to have gone wrong, so that, you know, this unrest would cease, so to speak.
And we don't see a lot of